evening. It's Friday the 30th of November. It's One Step FX and welcome to another fun-filled episode of my trading day. So for the 12 people that have been watching, thank you. Let's get into it and see what's been going on. So one thing that's been on my mind, apart from all this chaos, is that yesterday was a sort of minus 4% day, I think, in the end. It was pretty catastrophic, let's be honest. So today my main focus was what I write in my journal every single day is one good trade at a time, one good trade at a time, one good trade at a time. And there's been a few videos that I've been watching by a guy called Rob Booker. He's got some very good videos, but some good content about how, just focusing on these small, consistent gains, small trades. So what I really did today, I did rush in this morning thinking I could find something early on, closed those trades down at a loss, not a big loss, but you can sort of see here sort of 7 and 5 pips quite early on. I just stopped for those because what I need to focus on is being consistent in the approach, and I can only do that if I'm waiting for the best possible setups and then consistently taking them. Now, I know the two strategies that I implement. So if we're in a trending market or when price is really moving, I've got the scalping technique where I'll look for the price to be moving away from the 8 EMA on the hour chart and then drop down to the 5-minute time frame to see price pull back into the 8 EMA, and that's where I've got my sort of trigger candle. In a ranging or sideways moving market, that's when really the sort of 168 retracement and then using the fib extension to the 127 comes into play and really does work quite well. So I know the two methods that I have do work. It's just making sure that I'm using them at the right time in the right scenario to really benefit from those strategies. I've got complete confidence in them. I know that it's just me that is causing the the wrong trades at the wrong time and just getting a bit of FOMO. I need to be in a trade, curbing those bad habits. So if you're new, it's more a case I go over what I've been looking at on the chart, what trades that I've taken during the day, what worked, what didn't go well, so I can learn, maybe you can learn, and that you can see that someone who is struggling is making small steps to improve their position and their overall trading, and that it is achievable and you can do it. So if other people have done it, I can do it, you can do it, that type of thing. So let's have a quick look at the Euro USD. So as I've been saying all week, even after this big spike that I've still had a bearish outlook, and this morning I thought that maybe we could see something like an ascending triangle. So I was looking at something along the lines of this. I thought, oh, maybe price, we've been tapping, it might break to the upside. But that was just a rushed entry, and it was rushed, and I closed the trade because I wasn't 100% confident in what I had on the chart. So what I've been getting into the habit of trying to do when we get this consolidation is I'm drawing, as I've so affectionately referred to it, the red box of doom. And let's just take the, we'll make that a little bit thicker, we'll take out the red. So effectively, this box here is, price is consolidating, we're moving up and down, we know that, when price is moving sideways, it's hard to take these momentum trades. So I haven't really been looking at any scalping positions on that one. But what I was looking at was something like this for a bit further confirmation that the downside was still valid and that my overall bias for the week on this pair was still correct. And this is the challenging thing. It's when sudden movements happen and then you have to question yourself, am I still looking long? Am I going to be still looking short? What's changed? Should I, change my opinion? Should I jump on the opposite direction? The biggest thing is, as I've learnt today, is you just need to wait for the market to give you the right signal. So I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and we had this sort of ascending wedge formation. You know, price failed to break this top, but then we did see price break. And what I was initially looking at, let's just jump down to the 15-minute because I was looking at these sort of swing trades. What I was initially waiting for was from this high, I was like, right, we've broken, I'm looking for a 618 retracement. That's what I want. I want a 618 retracement because once we've got the 618, I can get involved and, you know, I can see what's happening. Now, it didn't quite make the 618, and what I noticed was that if I'd seen, so price had pushed up, pulled back up, if I'd measured from this point, and everyone's going to have their difference of opinion of where you should be measuring from, what you should do, but if I measured from this point to here, we did have the 618, so jumping down to the 5-minute, you would have seen that price pushed up, and after this candle I probably would have entered just because we've got a lower low, lower close there. Okay, so that would have been my trigger to enter on that trade. Let's go back to the 15. And, you know, like I've been saying all week, is on this trade, I know that I tend to hit the 127 more often than the 1618. So on the extension, you know, not only did we hit the 127, we did also, well, I wasn't in this trade, but you would have hit the 1618 as well. So that's a perfect example of a good risk-reward trade. You know, once we got in, price never went back up. So I did take a swing position on this pair, and I did also get into a scalping position as well. Both hit targets. The scalping position almost did get stopped out, which was a bit of a, you know, would have been frustrating, but that's just what happens. So I'll just remove the, actually I want to put the Box of Doom back in because I want to demonstrate, you know, this is how I'm breaking down the trades. This is how I'm looking for trades. So I just want to show you, you know, what I'm looking at, how I'm getting involved. So we'll just quickly, again, you can see it's not very, you know, it's not super complicated sort of stuff. It's just very simple. We're moving sideways. Where's the trend? We're breaking any trend lines. We're retesting trend lines. That sort of thing. And that's what I was waiting for, really, was a break of the trend line, come back up, retest, and then, you know, get involved. Now, the swing trade that I did take was, I'll put in the position on the old history, because my effects book, for some reason, when did that last update? 2 hours ago, you know what I mean? So why 2 hours ago, I have no idea, but a lot of the trades have closed now. So the swing position, and again, I aim for 0.5% risk on all the trades, so I'm staying consistent with the risk to reward ratio. And it just means that, you know, I with today my main focus was I want to take one good trade on each pair. Euro USD presented two opportunities, a swing and a scalp, whereas the USD yen, it offered up a swing opportunity, which I'm still involved at the moment, but that's at break even, so we'll go over that in a moment once I've got this position in. So I entered this trade, and again, it was at market. I wasn't setting orders, I was waiting for, you know, being reactive to what the market was doing. I entered sort of here. Okay, so let's just get that set back up. So that was 773 was the entry, and the overall, I think it was 14 pips I worked out. I think it was 14 pips that I worked out for the position size. 14 pips meant that was, if I got stopped out, that would be 0.5% stop, and then the target for this trade was 13,486. 486. Okay. So what we had, and what I was looking at, was we had from this peak here where price reversed, from this high to this low, price had come up, hit the 618. Okay, and then from here, just doing a fib inversion, well, not fib inversion, fib extension, sorry, I was aiming for the 127. So again, I could have shot for the 1618, but the aim of this is I want to just be taking trade that I know will be hitting target. That's my priority. So, you know, that trade hit target. Yeah, I missed out on what how many more pips was that? Maybe another 10 pips I could have got out of that trade. I mean, overall that hit target for 28 pips, 28.7, so it's not a bad trade. Could have been more, but again, my confidence is I know I can hit the 127. I don't want to get greedy. I just want to put trade on, get in, have it hit target and be done. I mean, next week my main aim is really going to be trying to make one good trade a day on each pair, so I'll give each pair a chance to present one trade, and I really just want to be taking one trade a day, because I know worst case scenario, if I lose both trades on both pairs, that's 1% risk, which isn't bad. If I win, it should be around 1.5 to maybe 2.5, depending on if it's a sculpt or if it's a swing. And I will, you know, that's more control, being more in control. So anyway, that was happening, and that happened after I had entered. So price was pushing away from the EMAs. It was around here. I saw this drop. EMAs had just crossed. I was like, right, okay. Let's go down to the 5-minute chart and see if there is a scalping opportunity. And I've got to be honest, I don't know exactly where just by looking at the chart. But give me a second, because it did hit both targets. 13660 was the entry. So what we had was this setup here. So price had pushed down, pulled back up into the 8 EMA, and then so we've got let's just go here. That was 663, I think I was saying 663. The order history, no 660. There we go. So 3 pips below this candle here. Price pushed up into the 8 EMA, so stops 3 pips above this trigger candle here. Get that on. And what I tend to do, if you know, so on that one, so that'd be 12, so it's 15 pips stop, and that would have been a 30 pip profit. And you know, again, as you can see, I got filled on the order. Price really did push back up. I think it was a 14 pip stop I went with, gotta be honest. And that's what scared me a little bit, because it was very, yeah, it's 14 for 28 pips. So yeah, as you can see, it was like skin in my teeth sort of stuff. And then price just ranged. Is it going down? Is it going to go down? It's going to go out. And then eventually, it's, you know, it's pulled away. And I had to resist that. I had to resist this. There could be another setup there, but because of, you know, what I've got closed at the moment, I'm up 1.6%, and I'm happy with that, because if I can just consistently do 1.6% say a day, or even 0.5% a day, I know by the end of the week, if I can maintain that, I'm looking at 2% a week. If I can do 2% a week, I'm looking at 8% for the month. That's not a bad place to be. It's just trying to get over trading. That's my biggest downfall. I always, and I'm sure some of you may see this, you're always, I can't switch off. Look at the chart, look at the chart, look at the chart. Oh, that's trade. Oh, that's trade. I've had it before where I've been up 1.6% in a day, and then because of getting greedy and trying to take too many more trades, I don't know when to stop, and I wipe out that or even end up in a negative position. So that was my day on the Euro USD. So again, rising wedge, fell down. We'll see what happens next week. USD yen. So similar sort of, you know, approach to the chart, where earlier in the day we had this peak here, this low here. What are we doing? Where are we going? And for me, the trend line that got broken, that sort of triggered my interest or spiked my interest into confirming that I still ought to be long, was when we had this break sort of here. So it was this candle, this hourly candle here. That's when, you know, because you can see the EMAs were just scrunched up. We were just moving sideways. Probably could have a smaller sort of, you know, box there where price just sort of rattled around, and then it did eventually break. So I was looking at a few scalping opportunities, but again, they kept, you know, let's look at this trend line. So, you know, price came up, closed below, cancelled the orders. Price came up, set the orders, closed, cancelled the orders. Price went up, and I just wasn't happy with looking at scalping positions. I just left it. Again, broke below. It's just really rangy. What I was looking for though was, again, a swing opportunity. I missed probably a swing opportunity last night, because what we have had initially, it might be a trade I've already sort of gone over that we could have been involved in, but you know, this swing high to swing low, we've had a 618. Bit difficult depending on what time frame you're looking on, but price did push back down. So realistically, 3 o'clock this morning, that's when you would have been ideal to get in, but that ain't gonna happen. And the 127 off of here, or even the 1618, where are we looking at? So we still are approaching that sort of level. And you can see the 127 lines up here with a bit of structure, but so I've been waiting, I was waiting, lots of failed scalping orders being, you know, invalidated, so I was cancelling them, and the only trade I've taken on this pair today was this trade here. So I'll just put the position in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So again, this was entered on, you know, watching the price action play out. 485. This is where I got involved, and the target we're shooting for here is 681. And again, the stops at break even, but I think I had it did start out as a 14 pip stop, like a 1-to-1 risk reward, because I think the 127 was 14 pips. So I've been taking more 1-to-1 type trades as well. So, you know, price has broken up, pulled down, pulled up, pulled down, and it wasn't until we got from this low to this high here that we actually had a pullback into the 618. So I sort of dropped down to the 5-minute chart, just looking at, right, 3-bar reversal, enter, you know, enter that trade, because we have a 3-bar reversal there. That's my confirmation to get in, and this is why sometimes it is good to be able to use the multiple time frames to get these sort of entries. And you know, you're never going to be precision snipering, but you know, you can get the best possible entry you can. So initially I was shooting for the 621, which again, if I go down to 621, I think that was 14 pips. 621, is that 14? Well, 13.6, call it 14 because we're over halfway, so I'd always round up. You know, 14 pips. We're going for the 618 target here. Although saying that, I said price was at 681, didn't I? 681, so yeah. So that's where we are at the moment. Stops at break even, so I'm just gonna let this trade run. We'll see what happens. I mean, you know, again, even here, just looking at the chart, I can see from this low to this high, where have we come down to? Boom, boom, boom. Could have another little, you know, probably get a bit of confluence maybe here if we just look at what the extension from this low here to this high to this low. Again, you know, you've got levels lining up all over the place. So we'll see what happens with the USD yen. But overall, today's been a better day because I've been more patient, I've waited. This week's been challenging, it's not exactly gone smoothly. And I still feel there's going to be upside on this pair. And because of fear, because I thought it might be going down, I closed a position that I was in last night just to close it at profit. And you know, what did I close? That should be on my history here actually. History. I think it was USD yen. No, that's last night. So it would have been this buy here, 730. Look for 7.5 pips. Don't get scared at your positions, but as it stands this week, probably going to be -2% once this decides to catch up. I don't know why it's taken so long to refresh. It might refresh at 6 o'clock. I don't know. But I'm going to go over the charts, look at the week, and really sort of map out where the best opportunities were, where I should have been taking trades, that type of thing, because I've got to be honest, I don't really look at the past week. I only ever try and predict where I'm going to go for the coming week. So I'm going to do that. I'll do that on the weekly outlook on Sunday that I'll post. Just showing you where these 1618 trades are, where the best scalping positions could have been. You're not going to be able to get involved in all of them, but I'll highlight the ones that I know I could get involved in. And it for me, it just sets me up for next week, knowing that at this time on this pair I could potentially get this type of movement, which will also cool my jets about how many trades that I'm taking. So we'll see what happens. Glad I caught the moves on this, and you know, what I was thinking in the first place was right. Often I had to have some correction, but if you enjoy, please like, share, subscribe. Again, we'll do an outlook video on Sunday where I'll go over some of the positions and, well, what I think could be happening in the next week, and play it by ear, as it were. But for the meantime, enjoy your weekend and enjoy your Friday evening.